welcome to yet another coffee conversation. I am Shiv, founder of WIOF, World is One Family. And today we have with us one of the WIOF members, Mahesh, who has been sort of a crusader for his own society in terms of water conservation. And what we are going to do in this interview is uh, uh, throw some light on these aspects, and Mahesh will enlighten us on these topics. Okay, so without any further waiting, let's move on to Mahesh. Welcome, Mahesh, to this conversation.
Yeah, thanks, Shiv. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you here, Mahesh, and thank you for coming in. And we will start with our set of questions pertaining to water conservation. My very first question to you is, what made you start this journey towards saving water? Uh, do you have any particular turning point in your life as to why you start to do that? And when did you start doing that?
Yeah, so the journey has been since childhood, because we have been in cities, metro cities. I was earlier staying in Mumbai, then I shifted to Pune. But all the time we always have this issue of supply and problem and challenges in providing water 24/7 or 4 hours a day. It depends from area to area. But as such, since you asked, it's been there, how to conserve water, how to minimize the usage, and obviously eliminate usage, eliminate the wastage. I mean, so those three things were already part of it. But when I moved to Pune in 2013, that time I realized that the society where I was staying, it was mostly the corporation water was not that sufficient, and mostly every day we used to have tankers, water tankers. And that could be another reason. It could be a nexus between the builder and local tanker supplier. But the fact is, water, whatever is available, was not sufficient for the society. So that's the reason we used to get tankers every day. So over a period of time, we observed this, and then we realized that we need to do something. At least we should be able to reduce the consumption of water without having an impact on hygiene. And that's where we started thinking how we can reduce the consumption of water. And apparently after that, in Infosys also, as part of our Eco Club, we used to invite different dignitaries and professionals. We had some of the sessions done by some professionals in this field. And then once I met one of our friend from IPA, Indian Plumbing Association, and we had that stall where I saw some devices which were not known to me earlier. And that's what I thought was a turning point, where we thought we should go ahead and do something. You make use of technology and whatever resources available, which can help us to reduce the water consumption.
Yeah, great. I know that, I have been with you on that journey, and it really has been a great journey. And yeah, certainly, I agree with you on that. So I want to ask you, what measures have you taken individually in your own flat to conserve water? Can you throw some light on what all you have done?
Yeah, so as far as individual contribution is concerned, as I said, one of the talk sessions, and also when this person from Indian Plumbing Association visited our campus and he brought certain devices, I saw that there are like devices which are called spray aerators, and the same kind of devices were also installed in our campus in canteen and other washrooms. And I saw that there is a huge impact on the amount of water that gets discharged. So normal faucet, if you see, have a flow rate of 6 liters per minute. But if you install low flow spray aerators, it can bring down from 6 to, let's say, 2 or 2.5 liters per minute. So almost like 50% reduction of water. So the very next day I bought two sample pieces from that gentleman, and then I installed it myself because it's very easy actually. It's a no-brainer. So you can just, if you have just a wrench or a spanner at home and you know what to do with your faucet. So I just opened it and replaced my foam aerator with the spray aerator. And that's it. I could see, I just brought a measuring cup and I opened the tap to its full open position and measured for 1 minute. The existing foam aerator was discharging almost 6 liters per minute, whereas this spray aerator was reducing only, or rather reduced and discharging only 2.5 liters per minute. So straight away it was like, you can imagine like 3.5 liters per minute. That was the first step which I took as an individual. Then again, my association with Indian Plumbing Association consultant also, over a period of time, we used to have discussions. And then I thought, what else can be done? So then he suggested there are flow restrictors which can be put on a utility tap, or wherever you have bathroom sinks or shower heads. So those are another opportunities to reduce the water consumption. I mean to say the flow, as far as the discharge is reduced, there is less wastage, because when you wash hand, finally you wipe it off. So not a single drop remains on your hand. So all that water which comes out of tap is finally going down the drain. But your purpose is just to wash your hands. So if you can wash the hands in just 2.5 liters instead of 6 liters, then what's the harm in that? So that was the basic idea of implementing these kind of aerators and flow restrictors. And secondly, we also started thinking about how we can reuse the water which is coming out of your RO purifier. So the RO reject water, which almost any RO brand, if you take RO purifier brand, it will almost like 40% of water will be rejected. So that water can be used for, let's say, mopping or gardening or any other purpose which doesn't naturally go inside your body. So apart from the consumption, wherever you can use that RO reject water, that's a repurpose of it. So these were 2-3 steps which, as an individual, I took started for water conservation.
Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. I find that very inspiring. I myself have put the flow aerators, but restrictors and other things, probably I need to, check with you and probably some of these things at my place as well. Yeah, really nice to hear that. Okay, I want to now move on from the individual to the society. Anything that you have done at your society level where you are able to convince other people and get them to, participate in this journey together as a society.
Yeah, so as I started implementing these smaller devices to save water, I invited 2 or 3 close friends of mine to show that, to get their idea, what if we can do this at a higher level, at a society level. So I got them at my home, and I also showed them what are the devices which are these aerators or flow restrictors, how those can be fitted to our existing setup, and how we can take it up to a society level. So here I have few samples which I would like also to show to all of you. So this is like a simple foam aerator which comes in every single faucet, whether you buy it from market or anywhere. But this foam aerator just changes the flow in terms of stream into a foamy stream. It doesn't save any water. The other one is a spray aerator. So the spray aerator, beauty of this is it has, like, if you can see, there are small holes on the periphery. So instead of the whole volume of water coming through the foam aerator, it just comes through these tiny holes. So it reduces the flow from 6 liters per minute to 2.5 liters per minute. And these are very easily available on Amazon, or if you want to buy through OEM, that also can be done. Then I showed them these flow restrictors. So usually every kitchen sink will have this kind of a tap. It is called bibcock, and the foam aerator or spray aerator goes at the bottom where the water is discharged. And these flow restrictors, which, like in a bibcock, there is no provision to put a foam aerator or spray aerator. But The only way we can restrict water flow is through these restrictors. So these go and fit in the back of the cock. So imagine this is the area or volume of water which comes out. And if you restrict it to only this size where you have small holes, so that is the simple mechanism. It restricts the flow of water. So even if you open the tap full position, you will only get 2.5 liters instead of 6 liters. So these are very simple techniques. Then I have something called as another kind of flow restrictor, which goes into your shower head. So shower typically can have 20 liters per minute discharge, whereas this can bring it down to 6 or 8, 12 liters per minute. So again, 50% reduction of water. So these are things which I showed to my colleagues, and then we approached our management committee. We also approached the suppliers. We got quotations, and when you display and people get convinced that there is a hard fact that water is conserved, or rather the wastage is reduced. So fortunately for me, my management committee also agreed, and we went ahead for implementation. So we have 200 plus flats in our society, and we consider at least for two wash basins, for two BHK there are 3 wash basins, and for a 3 BHK there are 4 wash basins. So we calculated it almost like 1,000 aerators we procured, and we implemented it. So each of the wash basin in our society now has this kind of foam spray aerator. And the simple calculation is, if I save, every individual will spend at least 5 minutes in a day to wash in different instances. So 5 liters and 5 minutes per day. And if I can save 3 liters per minute, so 15 liters per day per individual. If I have 1,000 people, I will save 15,000 liters per day. So that was a simple math, and it was approved, and we implemented this. Now it's the 4th year. We are still saving 15,000 liters per day. The second project which I took was this kind of rainwater filters. This was an inspiration from our campus, where they had this kind of rainwater filters which are installed. And it's very simple mechanism where the rooftop rainwater, which is collected from terrace and comes down and goes down the drain. We just have to channelize through these kind of filters, and it is ready to use. You can use it for your utility purpose, or not for drinking, but at least for your daily usage, gardening or utility purpose. So this project we recently implemented, and it cost me just around 50,000. That too because of the plumbing cost. The filter cost only 15,000. But with this 50,000, every rainfall we would be saving at least minimum 2 lakh liters of water, which we can repurpose. The rainwater which comes from terrace, which so far was going into our stormwater drain and not being utilized, now we are going to utilize for our daily usage. And the third project which we did at our society level was, again, it was under rainwater harvesting, but that was for the surface runoff rainwater. And we had pits created, and we had to dig a bore, a dry bore basically, where water is not available. And then we channelize all the water through this rainwater harvesting pits, and we are recharging the groundwater table. So that has increased our water availability throughout the year, because the ground is recharged with this rainwater. And it also helps for a local community where the bores are running dry. At least they get the water for rainwater harvesting. So these couple of 3-4 projects which have been implemented at our society level.
Great, Mahesh. That is very inspirational to hear that you guys have done so much. I mean, even I wasn't aware to the extent that you guys are saving water, and this is really is a great lesson for the other societies as well. Probably we all should learn something from you all, and yeah, I mean, it's wonderful to hear that. And hopefully, if anybody wants to get in touch with you, probably you can enlighten them as to how they can do it in their societies as well, right? On this.
Sure, certainly. Yeah.
I want to ask you one more question. All these measures you talked about, it requires collective intent on the part of majority of the people in the society as well to do it. I mean, 1 or 2 people cannot just push it. Others will have to do it. So many societies that could be challenging. I mean, even if with the best intents that couple of people might have, it can still be a challenge
Mhm.
implementing all these things. I wanted to know,
Certainly.
is it finally time for societies to install water meters and monitor the usage of every flat, and probably even fix a daily threshold for every flat or apartment as far as consumption is concerned? Because in case we are not able to implement measures that what you have suggested, uh, that still should be a way in which we should be able to restrict that water usage, because like at least for electricity we have something, but in water, because there is no quantity restriction, some people end up using a lot, and we suffer, the society suffers because of the actions of few of the people. So what do you think about this? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I think it's an irony of our country where water has no value. Uh, when I say water has no value, when you buy water for drinking, you pay $20 for 1 liter of water. When it comes to corporation provided water, only 3 paisa per liter. And of course, every society or community has their wells, bore wells, community wells. So that water is almost free. All you have to spend is to just do a bore well, and then for pumping out, you have to pay on electricity. But water as such, it is free. So who cares? No one cares, actually speaking. And taking individual action is very important. And as I said, that discipline starts from home. But not everyone is actually concerned or equally concerned about water conservation. So, as you said, metering has to be there, but how many societies are actually going to spend on it? Even better, it would have come as a regulation from government to install meter for every house. Like electricity, every house has its own individual meter. Then why not water meter? As of now, water meter is only at a society level, and that too also we cannot guarantee that it is working properly, or even there is no nexus between and society, whether he's going to take readings properly or just randomly charge something and get money under the table. So we don't know and we cannot guarantee it. But at the same time, if as an individual or as a responsible citizen, if I choose, I should definitely look for a builder who has this kind of facilities where if I want to buy a home, it should be my conscious decision whether that society has a rainwater harvesting plant, whether that society has sewage treatment plant in place, whether that society has individual water meter in place, because these things are not part of the negotiations or discussions when you want to buy a home. It's only about the carpet area, the view, which direction your door opens, whether you will have scenic view, or but those are the peripheral things, and no one actually digs detail into what about water supply. Is this sustainable? Is it environment friendly? So those things are never discussed, and it never comes up surfaces. That should be a conscious decision every home buyer should take. And then for builders also, it should be mandatory to install water meters, regardless of whether you want to charge individual flats based on the water consumption, or just for at least collecting the data to understand what is your requirement for your society, which should be easily in terms with whatever corporation allows. Every municipal corporation will, when I say be around 130 or 150 liters per person as a quota. And in that 150 liters, I have to manage everything, which could be my usage for washroom, for taking bath, for cooking food, or any other things. But do we really know how much water we consume on a day-to-day basis? The answer is no, because it's free for everyone. At a society level, there is a monthly bill which goes from your monthly maintenance. So no one actually knows how much water is being used by family and at what cost. So coming to the point, I think installation of water meter is a huge costly affair. Once you get the position and once the society is formed, if it has to be done, it has to be done while the plumbing work for the society is going on during construction.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. It's a costly affair, and it might take time. It's better that individuals are motivated on their own to save water, and even look for complexes or societies which are having these water measures in place. But coming to my final question, uh, what are the easiest measures that can be implemented at an individual level or at the society level, to start this journey, as per you, so that people can at least, begin with it. If they have not done anything so far, let's say, what is the first thing that they can do, an individual as well as a society?
Yeah, so as I said, as an individual, if you're a new home buyer, just ensure that whatever society or community which you are going to live in, is it sustainable, water sustainable? You should have enough measures to conserve water, be it through rainwater harvesting or sewage treatment plant, and also in your individual flat. Society may or may not have, or builder may have not provided any such measures, but then you as an individual can do a little bit modification. You can always get a faucet which has a lower discharge. You can replace the builder provided faucet with your own amount, to replace the faucet with spray aerators, or if there is a foam aerator, you can replace it with spray aerator. So that's the first step every individual should take. Then if you cannot control the flow of your faucets in any other areas like kitchen or utilities or bathroom, then you can always implement those flow restrictors, which are economical as well as reliable. So that way, unknowingly, you will reduce consumption. If you want to do something out of the way, you have to do this kind of implementations as an individual. And apart from that, you should also take it up to a larger level, like at society or your area level, where you can tie up with uh, either corporation or with individual, like maybe IPA can help, plumbing association. And then you should try to implement all these aerators and flow restrictors across all the societies. So that's a definite savings of water.
Okay.
Also, every corporation should mandate to have rooftop rain harvesting for every cooperative society, because even today, all those societies which has implemented rainwater harvesting or solar panel, they get discount, very decent discount on the property tax. So that's a benefit, I would say. Apart from saving water, you also get benefit on your property tax.
Yeah, yeah, certainly, Mahesh. I mean, these are very insightful, and I hope that uh, our interview, this conversation is useful for many of the people who are viewing it, and they can take that message forward, and implement it in their societies and reap the benefits of it, both at the individual as well as the society level, and indirectly we are helping the planet, by doing this. And I hope people take the cue from here. And I think that you will be open to answering further queries of the people as well if they approach you through our website. And
Yeah.
they can have more guidance as to how to go about certain things. So I thank you so much, Mahesh, for making it to this conversation and giving us wonderful insights as to how water can be conserved by each one of us. And hope this is a great uh, way forward for the people uh, to indulge in water conservation, and yeah, which is a very precious resource. Water is a very precious resource. For the coming years and decades, we are going to see less and less of it. So the more we save, the better position we will be in. So thank you once again, Mahesh, for uh, talking to us. And yeah, I wish you a great day ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Shiv. And one more request for all those viewers who are watching this video. I would certainly request them to go to the water page of WIOF, World is One Family website. There are some beautiful blogs written on it, very informative blogs are there, and also some widgets are provided. So every single subscriber or anyone who is watching this video should definitely visit our website, WIOF and WIOF.com, and go to the water page and get yourself, probably you should be able to get more insights from the water page. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.